Hey everyone, if you've ever worked with data in Python, you know that feeling when it's just all over the place? Well, today, we're going to tame that chaos. We are diving deep into one of Python's most essential skills, sorting lists. So let's get right into it. So, here's our roadmap for today. We'll kick things off with why we even bother sorting. Then we'll do our first simple sort, figure out how to control the direction, and then get into the really cool stuff, creating our own custom sort rules. After that, we'll cover some tricky details to watch out for, and finally we'll wrap everything up into a handy sorting toolkit you can use anytime. All right, section 1, why we sort lists. It's all about bringing some much-needed order to your data. At its heart, sorting is just about putting things in a specific order, right? Whether that's alphabetical, numerical, or something totally custom. I like to think of it like a messy desk. A random pile of papers? Pretty useless. But the moment you sort them, maybe by date or by project, that chaos suddenly becomes an organized, usable system. And that's exactly what sorting does for our data in Python. Okay, time to get our hands dirty. Let's talk about your new best friend for sorting. Seriously, you're going to use this thing like 90% of the time. It's the super powerful but super simple dot sort method. So, let's take a look at this list here. We've got orange, mango, and kiwi all mixed up. To get this organized, all it takes is one simple line of code. And this is it. You just call dot sort right on the list itself. Python's smart. It looks at the list, sees their strings, and it just knows to sort them alphabetically. That's the default behavior. And boom, just like that, the list is now perfectly in order. Kiwi, mango, orange. See? It really is that easy. Okay, that was easy enough for words. But what about numbers? Does the same magic work? Let's find out. Here's a list of numbers totally out of order. And guess what? We're going to use the exact same method. Yep, just this list dot sort. Nothing new to learn here. Again, Python looks at the data, sees we've got integers this time, and it automatically knows to sort them from the smallest number to the largest. And there's our result, a perfectly sorted list, lowest to highest. So the big takeaway here is that dot sort is really intuitive. It just figures out whether you have text or numbers and does the right thing automatically. Okay, so sorting from small to big, or A to Z, is the default. But what if you want to go the other way? Let's talk about how to take control and flip that direction. And the answer is surprisingly simple. It's just one little argument you add inside the parentheses. Reverse equals true. As you can see, the default sort function gives us ascending order. But add reverse equals true, and bam, the whole thing flips. We get the list sorted from highest to lowest. It's like a light switch for your sort order. Super easy. All right, this is where things get really interesting. What if sorting alphabetically or numerically just doesn't cut it? What if you need to sort by some weird custom logic? Well, welcome to your new sorting superpower. We do this using something called the key parameter. Now, think of it this way. Normally, Python sorts by looking at the items directly. With a key, you're basically giving Python a special set of instructions. You give it a function, and instead of sorting the items themselves, Python sorts them based on the output of that function. It's like giving it a different way to see the data. Let's make this real with an example. Let's say our goal is to sort a list of numbers based on how close they are to the number 50. Not their actual value, but their proximity to 50. So we'll write this little function. We'll call it myfunc. All it does is take a number, n, and return its absolute distance from 50. Simple as that. So this table here breaks down what's happening behind the scenes. On the left, you've got our original numbers, but Python isn't even looking at those to sort. Instead, it runs each number through our myfunc and gets the key result you see on the right. That's the distance from 50. So 50 is 0 away, 65 is 15 away, and so on. That second column is what Python is actually sorting by. And check out the final sorted list. It looks kind of weird at first, right? But it makes perfect sense when you remember our rule. 50 is first because its distance was 0. Then comes 65 because its distance was only 15. Then 23, whose distance was 27. See? We've created a totally unique sort order that has nothing to do with the number's actual values. It's all based on our custom logic. How cool is that? Okay, so you've got this incredible power now. But with great power comes a few tricky details. Let's cover a couple of common pitfalls that can trip people up. This will save you some headaches later, I promise. First up, Key sensitivity. This is a big one. By default, Python is a bit weird about sorting text. It puts all capital letters before any lowercase letters. So you get this strange result on the left where capital orange comes before lowercase banana. The fix, though, is so simple and elegant. We just use a key. Key equals string.lower. This basically tells Python, hey, just for a second, while you're sorting, pretend everything is lowercase. And that gives us the natural alphabetical order we actually wanted.
And here's the other common mix-up, using sort, reverse equals true, versus just dot reversing. They sound similar, but they're totally different. Look, sort, reverse equals true is a true sort. It takes everything and organizes it from highest to lowest. But dot reversing, it doesn't care about sorting. It just flips the current order of the list, whatever that may be. It's like looking at the list in a mirror. So if your list was 10, 1, 5, dot reversing would just make it 5, 1, 10, which is definitely not sorted.
Wow, we have covered a ton of ground, so let's wrap this all up. Let's build a quick summary, your very own Python sorting toolkit. Think of this as your 4-step checklist for any sorting problem. 1. Start with the basic .sort method. It's your workhorse. 2. If you're dealing with text, always consider case sensitivity and use key equals str.lower if you need to. 3. If you need some crazy custom logic, that's your cue to create a key function. And 4. To flip the order, just toss in reverse equals true. That's it. That's the whole game. So there you have it. You've officially got the tools to bring order to any list Python throws your way. You're ready to tackle that data chaos. So the only question is, what are you going to sort first? Thanks for tuning in.